Hi, this is Sudipta. I'm a creator and an artist. Don't get confused by the loaded corporate designation. I grew up in Calcutta, and like any true Bengali, I started believing three things. First is that the famous cream Borolin can solve most of the problems of your life. Second is the trinity, that apart from your education, you really need to learn music, literature and art. And the third thing is how quickly you imbibe the works of Rabindranath Tagore. We call Rabindranath Tagore in English. But in the whole journey, I realized that as a Bengali young boy, you are actually imbibing timeless leaders in every field, be it music, art, film, literature and so on and so forth. Many other fields as well. If there is a problem in the field, don't worry. Even today, if you go to Eden Gardens and there is a problem in the field in a T20 match of India, most of the Bengali boys will tell you, Dada is there, he can still come and score a century and make us win. Because we don't usually produce great cricketers, so we have produced one, we don't let him retire. And if there is a territorial problem of India, the great Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose is believed by all Bengalis that he will come down and solve our territorial problems, because we don't Bengalis produce a lot of warriors. So once we have produced a warrior, we don't let him die. So as I was studying in the Presidency College, one of the most prestigious colleges, and in that Presidency College, everyone believes that you either be an academician, a politician or a bureaucrat. I also wanted to be an academician. However, at the last year, I saw a small poster that Tata Group is looking for management trainees, and that changed my career. I took a train, I got selected to a city called Jamshedpur and started my first career in the corporate world. What happened after 1 year is very, very interesting. I was sent for an overseas deputation in the US at Detroit, Michigan, and as it happens, your first overseas journey, you're coming back after 3-4 months, and what do your friends and family and colleagues expect? Mars, Toblerone and stuff like that. My father, of course, requested me to get a fridge magnet of Niagara Falls. But when I landed up in Bombay with my load of chocolates mostly, the combination lock of that suitcase would never open. It must have happened to many of you as well. So I tried all the combinations, then a customs executive came and asked me, what do I have inside? I told the same thing, but he didn't believe. So he told me, this is the weight and this is the penalty you have to pay. Believe me, I tried all my broken Marathi to explain him that this is what it contains, but he won't listen. So a very senior customs executive came and asked me the same questions. I answered the same answers, and then he asked me, what do you do? So I told him, I work for the Tata Group and I'm a young executive. I just went and I'm coming back. And he looked at all my papers, then looked at my face, called the customs executive, his junior, and said, this gentleman worked for starters. If he's saying the box has chocolates, the box only has chocolates. Let him go. That changed my perspective in life a lot. I realized I'm inheriting a big legacy. A legacy created by Jamshedji Nusranji Tata more than 150 years ago. Even today, Jamshedji is the biggest philanthropist of the century, much, much bigger than the names from the West you hear. So I had two choices in life. Enjoy the legacy, working for that corporate, or can I build something more interesting around that? I thought, let me try the second one. Something which intrigued me was the country of India. You must have seen this picture, but I realized that soon we'll be the largest population in the world. But there is a paradox in the Indian population. While our population is going up, the labor participation is going down over the years. And if you look at the women participation in our workforce, is going further down. It is actually touched 20% now, where China is 69%. So can you do something interesting around that? I thought of three things. The first is, I operate from a city called Pune, which is a manufacturing hub of India, and also today the largest electric vehicle production center of the country. But when you look at the industrial hub of the country and you take a drive 5 kilometers away into the small hamlets, you will realize there are young children in the age of maybe 10 to 12. And what is happening in their school is the girl child, after class 7, 80% of them drop out. Why do they drop out? They need to help their mothers in the kitchen. If there is a crisis or crunch in educational fund, the brother has to go to school, or they're actually getting ready for an early marriage. So we thought, let's have an integrated scholarship for girls from class 8 to class 12 so they can actually study and complete their education and try the board exams. Over the 5 years, more than 3,000 such girl child has been touched, and their dropout has almost become zero, and more than 75% are crossing the class 10 and 12 exams. The second thought was around orphanages. When we look at an orphanage, what I found out was that most of the orphanages, how we support is giving them the food and the ration every month, so they survive. But what's beyond that? Of course, sometimes when it's your birthday or the birthday of my kid, we try to go there to the orphanage, celebrate with them, and bring that one day of glory in their life. But is that enough? How do you make them learn their own living? That's how we started the vocational training of art, craft, music, dance. Even if they cannot make a corporate life, they can start learning and earning by themselves. What happens when all these children go to colleges, clear the board exams? We designed an integrated engineering program, be it a diploma program or a BTech program, so that they can learn, become employable, and come back to the factories. In fact, most satisfying and interesting is an integrated program so that they can actually service and repair electric vehicles. All these things has helped us as an organization to become the best place for women to work. The women participation in the workforce which was around 6 to 7% in the shop floor, has come to 27%, and we are very, very happy and proud of the recognitions. But what really intrigued me was, over the last 2 months, there was a journey which I took with my chairman to some of those villages, and trying to see what's happening there, meet the Sarpanch, have a cup of tea. And what we realized was very, very interesting in the conversation. The Sarpanch told us, in this village today, all the parents wants to have girls, because they say, if you have a girl, you take care of their education, you take care of their engineering education, give them a job, so humko to abhi ladki chahiye. That gave us a satisfying experience. So in the whole journey, I would like to get to the last part of my talk and bring out 2 of the biggest learnings I have got, which may be of interest to you. The first thing is, in this world today, the leaders are known by the followers they have. The followers can make you a great leader. Followers can also break you. But in the age of millennials, Gen Z, who sometimes we say are self-centered, how do you create followers? In fact, the lesson I learned is from a cricket language, where I remember when Saurav Ganguly, the iconic cricketing captain of India, met Virendra Sehwag, and he found that, hey, this is one of the best openers which we have in the country to come. So what he did was, he vacated his slot and gave it to Sehwag, and Sehwag became the greatest all-time openers of Indian cricket. So if you are a great leader, are you willing to pull your followers up, give them a vacant space, maybe vacate your own space, and be very welcome so that they become bigger and better than you? Lesson number 2 is from the iconic sportsperson, Shoaib Akhtar. Go back to the year 2008 when the IPL started, and Shoaib Akhtar signed for Kolkata Knight Riders. I was a great fan, but what happened was a miracle. Early morning, 5 a.m., I walk into the corporate lounge in the airport of Mumbai airport, and I couldn't believe my eyes. I see Shoaib Akhtar sitting in a table having his glass of juice. I gathered a lot of courage, went up to him and started a conversation, of course telling him what a great fan I am of his, and also tried to give him various instances of the matches which I've watched. He told me to sit down because he found a lot of nostalgia out of it. As I gathered courage, I asked him, who is your greatest inspiration of your life? I was expecting names of Joel Garner, Michael Holding, Bob Willis, Dennis Lilly. He came with a name of Mr. Shah Rukh Khan. He said, you know, when I was growing in the streets of Karachi and I knew that I bowled the fastest. But I found out that in the Pakistan cricket team, there are 3 slots for fast bowlers. And it's already occupied by the greatest Imran Khan, by Waqar Younis, and by Wasim Akram. So where is my place? So I thought of various careers. Should I play football? Should I play some other sports? Should I take up a job in somewhere? And then there's a program of Shah Rukh Khan which happened in Lahore, and I met him, tried to get a autograph. He gave very graciously and he asked me, "Tum karte kya ho?" I told him, "I am a fast bowler and I know I bowl the fastest delivery in the world today. But there is no space in the national cricket team." He told me something, he conveyed to me that be the best version of yourself. And that message I carry, I would like to share with you, because in this age of ChatGPT, artificial intelligence, ML, what happens is if you are an aggregator of information, if you gather information, if you learn up skills, gather skills, remember the present version of ChatGPT may be not able to compete with your skills, but the next versions will. But if you look inside and do what is the best possible in yourself, no one can replace you and you can still make like Shoaib Akhtar made in this Pakistan cricket team. As I end my speech today, I would like to share that as I shared with you, I am from the city of Pune, which is on the western part of Maharashtra, covered by the Sahyadri Hills. But if you look at the Sahyadri Hills, you will find something interesting. It is not like a range like Mount Everest, where you have the world's #1 peak, #2 peak, all of them. It's a range of multiple peaks. So when I try my Sunday exploration of little trek, what I find is when you reach at the top of one peak, you find there is actually the bottom of the next peak to go. So while I proudly hone the feather on the cap of TEDx today, and I think I'm very proud about it to share my stories with you, this is nothing but the bottom of the next peak in my life that I want to conquer. Thank you so much.